Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a show where we're going to code something related to chess. And I'm extremely excited. I don't know why I just said that. I'm kind of excited. I like chess. Chess is fun. Hello, Almer. Welcome to the show. What's up, Pitbull and Impy? Well, thank you. You like my shirt? I like the absence of a collar. Yeah. Awesome. So if you did not see, was it the last stream? I think it might have been the stream before last. And Solace, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciated. And thank you to Marco for that tier 1 sub, 4 months. J Peel, thank you for that 4 month, who says looking sharp. Thank you very much. Also thank you to Blackberry with a 3-month Twitch Prime resub. Thank goodness it's Friday. And a couple of days ago we had some Prime subs from Softenax and Silent Gamer Keith. Thank you all very much. Thank you. But yeah, if you didn't see, I think it was the last last Friday stream. We created a bot that would allow me to play chess against Twitch chat. So there's a user called Samwise Gardener, and it's a bot. And it only accepts challenges from my Lee Chess account. You can see that I've played 2 games against it, but basically once I have the bot running, I challenge it to a game, it accepts that challenge, and then it listens for messages in Twitch chat, where you all can vote on the next move that will be played by the bot. So that's what we built last time. It was pretty fun. There's a hype train. What? There's a hype train. Thank you all. Unknown. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm from all over, but I live in Denver, Colorado, United States of America. Are there another United States somewhere else? I don't know. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for those follows. But yeah. Type 1 in the chat if you were here last Friday for this bot building, because that was super fun. I've been playing a lot of chess. I feel like I've been improving. You were here? Nice. Yeah, look at that. Coding Garden 1. What's up, She.Moe and Gabanks? Thanks for being here. Was it Monday? I guess it was Monday. Well. But it was fun. It was fun. So what I want to do today is we can potentially work on the bot a little bit more. Minecraft themed chest. That could be fun. And so that kind of leads into some of the ideas I have for today. So one thing we could do, we could kind of just go back to the basics and just build a simple chessboard. It could be vanilla JavaScript, we could use React, we could use Vue, but just super simple. Literally create a checkerboard pattern with potentially like the ranks and files labeled with numbers and letters. That could be fun. Just build a basic board, and then we could get some pieces on the board. I realize there are existing libraries for putting a chessboard on a web page, but it could be fun to write from scratch. Another thing we could do is improve the bot to validate moves that occur, or moves that people in the Twitch chat vote for. That'd probably be the thing we work on if we work on the bot. And then the other thing is we could potentially create a web page that visualizes the votes that are being made by Twitch chat. Yeah. Am I willing to do a chess engine? I don't think so. The main reason is it would take me way too long, and it'd be very hard to do on stream. I think it's doable. I mean, what comes to mind is when I started working on that Onitama engine. I mean, and honestly, we could probably use that as a starting point. Onitama. So Onitama is a nice little game that is very much like chess, but it has this aspect where the moves that pieces can make change between turns. And you're not trying to checkmate a piece, you're just trying to make it to the other side or capture the other team's master. So Onitama is like that, but we started creating a game engine for it. If you look at my GitHub, github.com/codinggarden, and then take a look at Onitama TDD. Oh yeah, we did it in test-driven development, so that was fun. But you can look in here and see all the classes. We have a board class and a card class and a deck class and a game class and a piece class and a player class. So like we started, but we really didn't even get into the game logic. We kind of just used test-driven development to kind of scaffold the whole thing. And that took like 7 hours of streaming. Oh, and thank you, Jasmine. Much appreciated. Yeah, we're at 23,000 Twitch followers. That's crazy. Create a chessboard that visualizes the bot state and shows the suggested moves. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. So either we use colors to indicate the moves that can be made, or arrows. So when someone votes for a specific move, it shows an arrow on the board pointing from where the piece is to where they're voting that it goes to, and that will give. I think that would make it a lot better for people that don't know that much about chess to kind of like visualize the votes that are being made, because the votes are just algebraic notation. The votes are e4 to e5, or is that a valid move? I think no, that's not a valid move. If it were a pawn, the e3 to e4, like the opening white pawn, that's probably a thing, right? But for some people, that's hard to visualize. So yeah, we could create a board that shows you an arrow going from where the piece is to where it's being voted to go to, something like that. I don't know. I don't have much time to stream, so I can't go through and say hello to everyone, but I'm going to set a 1-minute timer. And if you'd like me to acknowledge you, just say hi in the chat, and I'll say hi back, and then we'll get started. Yeah. Algebraic notation for pawn moves is generally just the But specifically, we're using the Lichess API. But what's up? I am and another and Careless Hippo and Tanviv and Chrism and Randomness and Zapuppet and Dolderer and Alcatani and Nick Tittle and Array Index and Elvisarks and Adamate and Limotes and Dinfy and Berkeley and Layer and Mao Jaden and Dazim and Nero and Mike Broody and Mark and Abadev. Welcome. Oh yeah, I'll look at this because I saw your message earlier. Yeah, let me look at that. What's up, Prashant and Krank? And who else? Josim and Buccio and Bob. How's it going, Bob? What's up, Unknown and Shebza, Mr. Failed and Excavator and Fab and Kapir and the Pac-Man and Mr. Development. Welcome to the show, everybody. What's up, Move? And Durgas. Just start. Hey, I do what I want. What's up, Dawson? And thank you, 2468, for those 10 bits. What's up, Sibo and William Cameron and Sequel Gordster and Zolo and Alex and Prashant. Thank you all for being here. All right, let's see what this is. It was mentioned in the chat. It's like a GitHub repo for, a community chess tournament. Do you make a pull request with your move that you're going to make? Is that how this works? This is open to anyone to play the next move. That's the point. It's your turn. Move a black piece. From A6 to A5, if you click one of these... Oh, no, you vote. You vote on the moves. I see. So you vote on the moves by commenting on a specific issue, which is a specific chess move. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, so you click on it to vote on that specific move. So when you click a link, it opens an issue, trigger a GitHub action, which then potentially moves the board. That's really funny. Cool. Yeah. I'll bookmark that. How do I bookmark that one? Take a look later. Okay. All right, let's go. We're going to vote on what do we do. What to do. Simple chess. Let's say a simple chessboard. Like this, the checkered pattern, you know? So like literally use code to create a checkered pattern that's in the right layout and format that we eventually could put chess pieces on. Validate chess bot command moves. I think the thing that we would need to do this first before we actually visualize the chess bot moves. And then I'm hesitant to even put it on the list of things to vote for. Validate chess bot moves. Oh, I got it. See chess bot votes on web page. Like that. Country flags are still there. Yeah. You have yours set to South Africa. Yeah. And Aknot now has theirs set to Chile. Accidentally trying to skip. What? I have quite a few streams on logging in. If you do !videos in the chat or !YouTube, you can arrive here, and then if you just search for Auth, we've done a lot of stuff on Auth. There's a whole like noob series on Auth. Yeah. Stockfish? No. I guess we could use Stockfish, but then that defeats the purpose of me playing against the chat. Yeah. And what's up, Xtavila? Must have been gone a long time. I haven't been streaming that often, so I realize it's harder for people to catch a thing. You can create a simple chessboard with one line of CSS. Let's see it. That's actually hilarious. Conic gradient. That one? That one? Oh, wait. Something like this, huh? Is it down here? Do I know? I don't know your flag. Jordan. I have to hover over it to see the flags. Checkerboard. Holy cram! In the words of InstaFluff, holy cram. This is the only CSS it requires to make a checkerboard. It's actually hilarious. But I wouldn't do it this way because I would want to have each piece be a cell, and then each cell has some sort of state as to what piece is on it, or what color it is, or what rank and file it is, that kind of thing. I think this is what we're gonna vote on because we gotta vote. So first of all, we're just gonna build a simple chessboard. If that wins, we'll vote on how to do it. We could use vanilla JavaScript, we could use React, we could use Vue, but basically we would create some like a web page that has a chessboard on it, where it has all the cells, but those cells have some sort of state, like I mentioned, like it has the it knows what cell it is on the board, that kind of thing. Yeah, and we actually, I think I would use potentially CSS Grid for something like this. Yeah, and like I said, we'll vote on if it's React or Vue or vanilla. Validate chessbot moves. So this would just be any move that chat votes on for the bot to make. We would run it through a chess engine to validate that that is a valid move given the current state of the board, because we weren't doing that before. And then the last thing is, right now, when I run this chessbot, it's just spitting out the votes in the terminal. And so instead of doing that, I could basically wrap this bot in like an API that exposes the current votes, and then you could go to a web page to see what people are voting on. And eventually this would lead into a page where not only do you see the votes that are coming in, and hey, Unloved Slug, thank you for that resub, 4 months, whoop whoop, yeah, thanks for being here. But eventually that web page would not only show the votes, but it would show the current state of the chessboard and show you arrows indicating where moves would go if those votes won. So we're gonna vote for 2 minutes. Here we go, vote now. I believe if you're on mobile, click at the top, you could see this. Otherwise you can do /vote 1, /vote 2, or /vote 3 to vote for one of these. CSS is bad for this. Yeah, I mean, we'll need CSS to lay it out. I mean, this honestly is a great use case for CSS Grid. If you've watched the stream, you know that I typically prefer to figure things out with Flexbox rather than CSS Grid, but this is a superb use case for CSS Grid, because it's literally a grid. literally a grid. Sapper is canceled? What? What's up, She.Moe? Quick shout out to She.Moe. Are you talking about the Svelte framework? Yeah, and She.Moe created a lot of the pixel art for the channel. Svelte.dev. Sapper. GitHub. Oh, in favor of SvelteKit. Wait, what? What is SvelteKit? Are you talking about the, this Domi, thank you for that sub. Are you talking about the Svelte library I created but never actually added anything to? Things are good, Mr. Demon Wolf. Thanks for being here. We're currently working on the successor to Sapper. I swear to goodness. Oh, and something just happened. Swear to goodness. I don't know if I've said that on stream before. Rico, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate you. What did you send a message? Let's see. No, just 100 bits. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll show you this on my, if you go on npm and you go to my user account, how do I get to a, here, let's look at packages. I literally created an organization called SvelteKit because I was going to start to create a component library for Svelte. I came up with this name. It's not that original. This is not that original, but I did come up with that a long time ago because I was going to create a component library, then I never got around to it. Okay, so we're going to build a simple chessboard. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to talk about. So let's actually vote on how we're going to build it. Not vote. Poll. We're going to do a poll. chessboard with what? Vanilla JS. That is to say, no libraries, only the things that are supported by the web browser. We could use Vue, we could use React, and now that we're talking about it, we could use Svelte. Why the heck not? Go vote now for what we will use to build this thing. That's super interesting. I haven't used Svelte much though. I got really excited about it a while back and then haven't really touched it since. That's cool. Good to know. Good to know. What's up, Dark Coder? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, next is just like server-side rendered React. I'm gonna stick with just totally front end. We don't I mean, technically you could use Next to pre-build the app. Yeah, if we use Vue, we would use Vue 3 for sure. Vue 3, yeah. Vanilla's winning though. What's up, David? Welcome to the show. And actually, I was going to say, if we're going to use vanilla, we could use something like Parcel to bundle things. Koozie, thank you for the bits. Everything's going to be all right. Thanks for our daily reminder. If you're sitting at home watching and you're worried about something or you're not feeling that great, just remember, everything's going to be all right. Everything's temporary. Don't worry. And I Satisfied, thank you for that 4-month resub. And Mr. Ben Coder, thank you for the Twitch Prime resub. He says, love your stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, you know what? I might try Snowpack. That could be fun because I haven't used Snowpack before, but I've heard about it. It's similar to Parcel. The faster front-end build tool. How does it work though? Quick start. Start your dev server, create an app, choose a template. Template blank? I don't know, that could be too complicated. Yeah. Oh, nice, Shoresy Web. That's good to hear. Everyone say congrats to Shoresy Web. They got a job. Congrats. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the code. Got a job, nice. Okay, Vanilla JS 1. So for any of you that are non-technical, basically what that means is we're going to use the tools provided by us in the web browser. The thing that you are likely watching the stream on right now, you could be using the mobile app, which is different than a web browser. It's still like a client of sorts. And actually, I'm not going to use, for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to use Snowpack or Parcel. I've decided. We're just going to literally use things that are only supported, because that's always fun to explore. Okay, so I want to make a directory called chessboard, and then we're going to go in there. Open this up with VS Code. No Webpack, no build tools. We're just gonna, I like when things just are not overly complicated, because in today's modern web, people tend to heavily overcomplicate things with build tools and all this kind of stuff. We don't necessarily need that, especially with like HTTP 2. We don't need it, but so we're gonna use vanilla. Okay, so basic HTML document. To serve this up, I'm going to use a tool called Light Server. This is just a static auto-refreshing server. So there is no build process. It literally just is a static server that serves up this HTML file. If we look at the source page, it's literally just serving up that code that I wrote, but it's just injecting a little script that's going to automatically refresh the browser anytime things change. So it's super basic. If you are following along at home or you're interested in this, npm install-g light server will install it globally, and then you can use it. There are a few others you can use. There's also like live server. Both of those use browser sync under the hood, but it's just a basic static server. That's it. All right, now let's change the title to be chessboard. And it auto refreshes, and the title is chessboard. Beautiful. All right, let's start off with a little divvy, and give it. And here's the thing. So we're going to use vanilla JavaScript, but we could try to code it in a stateful way. So like we could give this an ID of app, and then we use JavaScript to generate the chessboard inside of that div with ID app. Actually, like give it ID board, something like that, right? And then let's create some JavaScript. Let's call it board.js. And we're going to bring that in here. So I'm going to say script src equals src equals board.js. So this is going to bring in that JavaScript file. Things are going to happen, and we're going to see a board on the screen. Use templates to generate. Yeah, I think that would be fun. We could do some fun stuff for sure. What's up, Wally Oxen? Yeah. I got a haircut. I'm normal. Normal now. An array length of 64. I like it because it's a 8x8 grid. We could iterate, add them to the DOM, all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do this right here, type equals module. What that'll allow us to do, if we have separate JavaScript files, we can use import syntax to like bring them in. Actually, let's do this. Let's create a folder called app, and then we're going to put all our scripts inside of there. That way, if we create more scripts, they're inside the app folder. And then now this is just going to be app/board.js. Beautiful. And then we're just going to log hello chess world. And so this file should get loaded in, and we should see in the console hello chess world. Beautiful. Beautiful. Board class? Yeah, we could do OOP. Why the heck not? Let's do it. So board.js, actually, let's do this. We're going to have a capital B board. Capital B board has a class called board, right? And a board has cells, or board has cells. Cool, so we have a class. This is object-oriented programming. And the board could potentially handle adding itself to the page. So like in the constructor, we could pass in the selector, and this could use that selector to add itself to the page. So if we pass in the selector ID board, it'll automatically add itself. Yeah, maybe a template parser? No way. This dot state? No. So okay, so we have a constructor. It has a selector. We could do something like this dot element equals document dot query selector and pass in the selector. Right? So when we create an instance of this board, it's going to use query selector, which is built into the browser, to select that specific element with that selector, and then we have this internal element thing. And for now, we're just going to log this dot element. So, all right, let's use this thing. And actually, I've got a better idea. We're going to create a file called index.js, and this is going to kind of like bootstrap everything. So it's going to create an instance of the board. So in index, we can say board, lowercase b, equals a new board with ID board. So something like this. Game.js? At that point, it's just like semantics. I think this is fine. So we want to create an instance of the board. And then that should create an instance of this, which is going to log out that element in the console. Now, right now, we don't have access to board, right? In the old days of JavaScript, you would just add a bunch of script tags, but here we could actually import it in. So I could actually say import board from /board.js, and that is going to import in that class that we created here, which we need to export. So I'll say export default class board. So this exports the board, and this brings it in. And we're not using required because this is in the browser. So like I mentioned, we're not using any build tools, but these imports and exports are supported natively in the browser when you say type equals module. So by doing that, we can do this. My linter is complaining because it's like, don't use .js, but actually you do need to use .js whenever you're running this directly in the browser. So we'll just add that, so it gets rid of it. Okay, so this file loads. It creates an instance of the board, which is this, runs the constructor. The selector is ID board, which corresponds to this div here. This selects that element and then logs it to the console. So now we should see div with ID board. There it is. And Ezrab, thank you for that 5-month resub. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. But yeah, so it's working. We're creating an instance. We're selecting that element. Good to go. All right. Is using modules more efficient? I mean, it potentially could be, because it would be very easy to convert this into something that's understandable by a build tool that can like bundle and minify everything. In this case, it's just an easier way of referencing files and not having like global variables. Because in the old days, you'd have to do something like this, like bring in app.board and bring in index.js, and then inside of index.js, this line wouldn't be here. You wouldn't, like, index.js would just look like that. And actually, if I write the code like this, and I get rid of this export, this should work. But the reason it's not ideal is because now the board class is a global variable. So by just adding the script like this is a global variable. And then this script, which gets loaded after that, has access to that global variable. And you can see my linter is like, hey, I don't know what that is. And this is like, hey, you're defining it but not using it. But this should still work, right? We still get access to it. But by using the module system, the code doesn't require global variables, and everything is a bit easier to manage, like what's calling what and where things are coming from. And in the old days, there were global variables everywhere. And when I say old days, I mean now, because people still write code that way. Do I get issues with loading and a script running before another script has been loaded? Well, in this case, if I didn't put defer on here, so if you don't put, or I think it's like async or defer, if you put those attributes, it's going to load asynchronously, meaning one could load before the other. But if you don't put those attributes, they load one at a time, and the next one won't load until the one before that is loaded. All right. And I think this is why I wanted to write it with vanilla, just to talk about these super basic things that we never really get to talk about because we use, not type equals board, type equals module, because we're using build tools and stuff like that. Yeah, and Wally Oxen is saying type equals module automatically does defer. It's possible, yeah. So this actually makes an asynchronous request for the script file. Yeah. Okay, so we've created an instance of the board. Great, great. Let's go ahead and get some CSS going. Let's just create a new folder called styles. And then in here, we're going to create a new file called board.css. And we're going to say this. So if an element has class board, then let's just say it has an outline of 2 pixels solid black. Just like that. So if we apply the board class to something, it's going to have an outline of 2 pixels solid black. We could also pass in like the width and the height of the board into this constructor. So you pass in the selector, width, and height, and then we can explicitly set that width and height. Let's do it. Just a second. Okay, so we pass into the selector. That's great. One thing I'll do is once we've selected that element, we need to add the class name board so that it gets this style, because by default it just has like an ID, which could be anything. So I'll say this.element.classList.add board. So we're going to add the board class to that element, and then if there's a width and a height, we're going to set the width of the element. So if there's a width, we're going to say this.element.style.width equals width pixels. Like that. And then we do the same thing with the height. Great. And actually, let's do this. We're going to take in dimensions, which has a width and a height. But if there are no dimensions, so we'll do this. We'll say if dimensions is a thing, quick stretch. Would I ever showcase WebAssembly? Oh, if I ever showcase WebAssembly, I'd probably try to do it with C# and DV. Man, thank you for that resub. Oh yeah, coding time, coding time. All right, and actually, let's get rid of this destructure here. So we're gonna take in dimensions, and if dimensions is a thing, we're gonna use dimensions.width and dimensions.height. Great. If dimensions is not a thing, I think we're just going to default to like 100%. Like this board will take up the whole screen. So width equals 100% and height equals 100%. Great. So by default, we create an instance of the board. We're not passing in dimension. We actually need to pass in selector now. So we need to say selector is that, like that. But since we're not passing in dimensions, it should default to 100% width and height, which is going to fill up, right now it's going to fill up the full width, and we should see an outline of 2 pixel solid black. Are we ready? It's there. You can barely see it, but it's there. It's there. Why CSS dimensions and not DOM dimensions? Do those actually work? Can you just set? Does that work? No. Okay, but here's what, no. So here's what we need to do. So right now there's a little black line up there. Oh yeah, thank you. I'll update working on it really quick. But yeah, there's that black line. And so if you're new to CSS, when you set something to be 100% width or 100% height or anything to be a percentage, it's relative to the parent element. And so because our parent element doesn't have a height, right now there is no height. But if we set the parent element to have height, and let's just do that in like a main CSS file. So we just set the body to have a width of 100 view width and a height of 100 view height. So these are actual like screen units, meaning it's going to fill up the entire viewport with 100 view height units. We'll also set margin to nothing, so there's no space around it, and box sizing is border box, something like that. I mean, this should do it. I actually can't tell, so let's change the color to be red. I did a weird thing, didn't I? Yes. Oh no. Body. Okay, let's look at body. Oh, we need to add the file. Good call. We're literally not referencing this file. So just in here, we're gonna add a little link to the styles/index.css. Yep. And then we also need to link to oh no, styles/board.css. So actually, was it even working? Was it even working before? I don't think it was. Cool. And then that has a style, and then it's got an outline. What if we change that to be border? Not border. That's not a thing. Border. There it is. We'll fix that. We'll get that going. It wasn't working before. We'll backtrack. But what I need to do before we continue coding is I need to update the working on command, or the working on page. I have not tried Sissy. Oh, thank you, Fantasy Teapot. Thanks for being here. Too kind. All right, today. Building a simple chessboard with vanilla JS. That's it. That's what we're doing. And we only have like 30 or 40 minutes left to do that. Vanilla. What's the difference between border and outline? Outline is the element itself. Border is outside of the element. So border actually affects the width. If you add a border to an element, it increases the width, the calculated width of that element. But if you add an outline, it's kind of like on the inside, kind of like padding in a way, because it doesn't change the width. It just puts an outline which goes into the element itself. Right now the reward redemptions aren't being popular. There's a new rewards API from Twitch that I haven't done anything with yet, and they're not showing up here. So for now, I'm just gonna refund if you redeemed anything, I'm just gonna refund it. We're gonna use CSS Grid eventually, but we need to figure out why these styles are weird. I'm also gonna say overflow is hidden. And let's go with like 10 pixels solid red so we can just see it. All right, let's see what happens. Did I add box sizing border box? I thought I did. Box sizing border box. Okay, let's see what's happening here. So if we look in the inspector, we've got a body. Beautiful. And then inside that body, we have a div. All right. That div has 100% width and 100% height. Oh, are you saying box sizing border box should be applied to everything? I like that. So it's typically something I'll do as like a general browser reset is every element should have box sizing border box, no margin, and then also no default padding. So we disable the browser default styles. Is this the winner? This is not the winner. But okay, we can see that the board is taking up the whole thing. So that's great. But isn't the outline outside the viewport? Is it though? Is it? I guess not. So if I use border, and now because box sizing is border box, will it show up? I don't know why it keeps spelling border that way. That does it. That does it. I don't know why I'm having so many issues with CSS this morning, but yeah, okay, so let's talk about why that worked. First of all, by setting box sizing to border box, it makes it so that the things like border, I believe, and things like margin, don't have an effect on the width, something like that. Basically, this fixed it. I can't explain it that well, but this fixed it. So we're gonna go with and actually, now that I think about it, I am not gonna specify pixels. I'm just gonna let the user specify the unit because so yeah, I'm getting sidetracked, but this is working. It's all that to say we have a nice red border on the screen. Beautiful. We've created a box. Magic, yes. I think the issue though is a chessboard is a square, and right now that's a rectangle. Border box includes margin and width. Makes sense. Cool. Yeah, because we're saying the default style is 100%, 100%. I mean, we probably need to use like view height units. So let's say like 50 view height and 50 view height. So by setting the width to be a height unit, now it's going to be a square like that. Yeah, so this is our default style, and it's responsive based on the height. So if we go smaller, it gets smaller. This probably should work. No, because then on mobile it doesn't look that great. Math.min, the width and the heights. I like that. Let's do it. So we'll say if I do 100 view height for both, that could break as well. But let's try it. So if I do 100 view height for both, yeah, now you run into this issue where the box, because the height is higher than my width right now, the box is off the screen. Like that. But I mean, if we don't have the dev tools open, no, it breaks on mobile. It breaks on mobile. So this is basically what we need to do, which was suggested by someone else. We got to find the minimum of the two and then use that unit. So actually, I mean, it's actually like unit. So we'll say if window.inner height is less than window.inner width. So we find the smaller one. Then our unit is view height. Otherwise, our unit is VH. And then we can use 100, but we just put the unit on the end. Now, great. But if we're on mobile and we refresh the page, it breaks. VW? Oh yeah, okay. VW. There we go. Nice. Nice. That's the winner, right? So no matter the screen size, it chooses the shorter length, and so it's always a square. Except for that. Why did that break? Oh, VMin! Oh my goodness. Thank you, Drunk Time Lord. Why Why didn't we think of that? vmin is another unit we could use, which automatically chooses the minimum of the two. No, this is what we need. There we go. We don't have to do it in JavaScript. CSS will handle it. I don't need a resize observer because it is a CSS unit. Yeah, check it. It's not that Drunk Time Lord. You try being me with 100 people in the chat saying something all at once. Beautiful. We've done it, everyone. We've created a square. We've created a responsive square. But it's a good start because now our chessboard's going to live within that. Yeah, vmin is great. Okay. Now what I want to do is I just want to center the board on the screen. So the parent body is just going to be a flex box. So display flex, justify content center, and align item center. So because this is flex row, justify content is going to center it horizontally, and align items is going to center it vertically. Now I said that with confidence, but it actually could be reversed. But regardless, we're going to get a centered board now. Margin auto would work, but look at this beautifully centered square. It's kind of like mesmerizing. Oh. All right. Awesome. And then the other thing is, instead of being 100, we could do like by default we do 90, and that way it's not like all the way to the edge. It has a little bit of margins and such. So it's pretty cool. Look at this beautifully placed box that just resizes. Wow. Yeah, it's good breathing room. Yeah, I love it. And really, this is only if the creator of the board didn't pass in the width and the height. Because if you pass in the width and the height, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Okay. I'm way too excited about that square. No. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful square. Okay. Now that we have the board, we need all the cells. Let's create like a method on the board that says like this dot init cell, or just this dot init. I mean, technically the constructor is the initialization, but I don't want to put all that code in the constructor. So we're gonna create a method called init that does all this. So it sets the width and the height. And also we're gonna we'll say this dot dimensions equals dimensions, and so that way in here we can use the instance property. Great. And then we need some cells. So like this dot cells equals an array of length 64. Calculate vmin plus pixels. It won't zoom. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Because right now, yeah, I'm zooming, and all it's doing is affecting the border size. How does that work though? I mean, it vmin plus 1 pixel or what? We're gonna be streaming for about 30 more minutes. Okay, but cells is array of length 64, initially filled with nothing. Actually, no, we're gonna do this. In the constructor, cells is an empty array. Plus 1 pixel? Yeah, let's try it. Because that way it'll be affected by zoom. Refactor, we're gonna put this in a variable. Size. What is this zoom nonsense? Yeah. All right, now that we have size, is it even affected? I don't think it's even affected. Oh, can we only accept 1 dimension? I like that. I like that. We're not even technically using it right now, but I kind of like that. So if we just set the size, and then we set the width and the height to be that size. Yeah. because it's always a square. Yeah. Have to increase the pixel value? 90 plus 10 pixels. I mean, all it does is increase the border. I'm not worried about it. Oh no, it doesn't need tick marks. Oh yeah, and thank you. That gets replaced there. Cool. Divide by 1 pixel? It's tiny. Multiplied by 1 pixel? It doesn't. We don't need it to zoom. We don't need it to zoom. It's just gonna be 90V, man. We gotta actually make this into a checkerboard. Okay, great. So now in init, after we set the size, we're gonna say this dot cells. It needs to be an array of length 64, and then each cell. I think I'm gonna create another class called cell or something like that. Disable zooming. Yeah, no worries, mad scientist. Thanks for dropping by. We'll say array dot from an object like thing that has a length of 64, and then for every element we need to create a cell. And we have the index. So can someone hey, Surgixnet. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. Can someone give me the math? So we have an array of length 64. We basically want, given the index of value 0 through 63, we want to calculate what is the row in the column based on that index. What math do I need for that? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create an instance of a new cell. So we'll create a cell class, and we pass in the like the rank and the file. Index divided by 8. Index mod 8. Math.floor it. I don't think I want to do an array of arrays, and the main reason being, yeah, I'll show you in a second. So, there's maths here, and also I don't remember what is a rank and what is a file. Ranks are horizontal rows, and files are columns. Is that accurate? Oh, thank you, Vincent. Thanks for being here. I need to look up the definition of a rank and a file. That's accurate, but I already forgot what I said. Naming ranks and files in chess for dummies. Ranks are rows. Beautiful. Okay, so to calculate the row, you're trying to help me, but I need variable names. So row is index mod 8, and rank is a row. It starts with an R. That's fine. And math.floor of index divided by 8 should give us the file. Is that what we're saying? Is this right? Percent. Oh, mod will give me a column. Well, and this will give me a row. Let's go with it. And I think what we're going to do, so we're creating an instance of this cell class, but this cell class is basically going to add itself to it's going to create an element on the page and add itself to the parent. So I'm going to say the parent is this dot element. So we're passing the actual board element on the page into this cell class, so the cell can then add itself to the element. I mean, actually, like, technically, do we want to do that? Or this creates a cell. We then say, like, this dot element dot append child and cell dot. I think I like this. I like this better because that way the cell doesn't have to know about the parent. The parent is still handling adding it to itself. Math.round in divided by 8. This rounds down, math.floor. So if I do math.ceiling, -8, is that what you're saying? It's 0 indexed. I don't know. That's probably going to be wrong. We'll figure it out, though. And then we'll return cell. So we're going to create an instance of the cell, append it to the parent element, and thank you, Cupid Lover, and then return it so that way we have an array of cells. All right, we need a cell class. Math.floor index divided by 8. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Now we need another file called cell.js. And is it accurate chess terminology to call it a cell? Should I call it a square? So this has a constructor that takes in the rank and file. I was going to put the word and right now I'm just going to say this dot rank equals rank. This dot file equals file, and this dot element equals document dot create element. We're just going to create a nice little div. And then we're gonna add the cell class to it. Square is okay. We're gonna call it square then. So I'll say this dot element dot class list dot add square. Yeah. So we're gonna use CSS grid to lay them out, because this is just gonna append them as children of the parent element, and right now it's just gonna be a bunch of divs, and then we'll use CSS grid to just plop them into a grid automatically. Good afternoon, Henrique. Welcome to the show. So we add class square. That should be fine. Great. And just to give us a nice way of debugging, we'll say this dot element dot add set attribute. Yeah, we're going to set an attribute called data-rank, and we're going to set that to rank. And then we're going to set another attribute called data-file to be file. So that way in the DOM, we'll actually see what the rank and file of each of those squares is. Cool. So we have this cell. No, we're not going to call it cell. We're going to call it square. And then we're going to rename this file, import it in. It's going to all work. And then we're going to create an instance of a square, import it in. So import square from square.js. Great. This should do it. Now, if we look at the inspector, we have a board. Inside the board, we have a bunch of squares. So rank is 0, 0, rank is 0, 1, rank is 0, 2, rank is 0, 3, rank is 0, 4, rank is 0, 5. Great. I actually want those to be increased by 1, so we get actual chess rank and files. So we'll just say +1. Yeah, because then we get 1, 1, and we need to open up Chess for Dummies again. The rows are lettered, actually, so we could actually do a lookup. Math.ceiling for the +1. I guess that's true, but the files. So the columns are letters. So we could actually do a lookup that just has A, B, C. I mean, actually, we could use Unicode values. This is fine. There's not many of them. H. And so instead of adding +1, we grab this file from there, and then we do math.ceiling. All right, this is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. So, no, why is this 0? 0, A. Oh no, and we're building it in reverse too, actually, because we're starting at the top left square, which is black, which is the higher numbers. That's a lot. Here. Okay, regardless, let's get them to actually show up on the page. So we have a square For now, let's just give it a background of green so it actually shows up. And then the board we're going to set to be a display grid. So we're going to say display grid. And I think you can do grid template, columns, repeat. How does repeat work? 1 fraction 8 times, something like this, and then the same thing for the rows. Yeah. So now, no, that's wrong. The opposite. Okay. let's go to the opposite. So repeat 8 times 1 fraction. Now we should get a bunch of little squares. Yeah, look at this. We get a bunch of little squares. They're all the same color. So we have that one, and actually, can we do? I want to build it from the bottom left corner because the bottom left corner is technically A1. Or 1A. A1? A1. Yeah, it's technically A1. But right now, it's at the top. So reverse the grid? How do you reverse the grid? Gap. So, yeah, adding a gap actually shows it. I don't think we're going to want a gap eventually. Invert lookup array? No. I think we can simplify it in some way. Reorder the files array. Let's see. Pixel art chess pieces? Oh, she.moe. That would be awesome. You don't have to do it, but that would be awesome. CSS transforming it. We're not. No way. So right now we're just creating a basic chessboard. It's super simple. Okay. So if we're building from the top left corner, we actually start off with A8. Oh yeah, so we invert it. We invert it. So right now we're getting A0, but we actually just want to add, yeah, 8 minus the rank. Beautiful. Thank you, Brooklyn Dev. Something like that. Let's see what this gives us. So, oh, okay. I think we're close. I think for whatever reason, we actually want floor plus 1. No, we don't. Floor plus 2? Ceiling plus 1. Wait, what? Why? Oh, that'd be awesome, Asset Spark. And welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. It's menu. Why am I having such a hard problem with this? All right, so we get up to H, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we have a bunch of 1s. Oh no, and then we have 0. Rank is getting all the way down to 0. We don't want that. 9 minus. Yeah, 9 minus math.floor of that. Okay, Brooklyn Dev has it. Not quite. But we need to do -1. I think. No, we don't. Why is this happening? Why is this so hard for me? Okay, 7 divided by 8 plus 1 8. No, that just messed it up really bad. Okay. Hard code it. We actually could. We could just create a lookup table. What's wrong now? Index mod 10. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5. No, not quite. All right, always munching. If this is the one, you get gifted a sub. 8 minus math.floor of index divided by 8. Did we try this? A8, beautiful. A7, beautiful. All the way down to H1 and A1. Ta-da! Da, 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 da. That's awesome. Voila! Thank you very much. Always munching. Oh, that's great. We did it. We did it, everyone. It only took us 30 minutes, but we did it. Just give me just a second. Anonymous, come on. Congrats to Always Munching. I was going to gift you a sub, but Anonymous did, and you're great for that. Okay, moving right along. It might have been Sanak. I missed it if that. And also Brooklyn Dev also. I'm sorry. I miss a lot of things in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Someone mentioned some CSS earlier that would actually give us some alternating colors. Let's just do that really quick, and then we literally have a chessboard. It's somewhere. Does somebody want to send it again? It was something like nth child. Yeah, there it is. Nth child 2 in background black. Let's do it. So in the CSS, we'll say board nth child background is black. What's up, Lisa Ray? Thank you for the raid. There's 46 of you. Crazy. Welcome, raiders. We are currently building a chessboard. What were you working on? All right, let's see what this does for us. So, but actually, we're gonna remove we're gonna get rid of this background green. 2 in is every other one. Nice. Making a Twitch bot. Very cool, very cool. Oh no, we're using a grid. Yeah, these are all HTML elements. You can see they're all divs. We're not using a canvas or anything like that. Yeah, welcome raiders. Thanks for being here. You've arrived at the coding garden. We write code. We build things. Today we've decided to build a simple little chessboard. Which is surprising. I'm making it way harder than it actually should be. But it's pretty nice. We got a little bit of object-oriented programming going on. And Killaz, thank you for that tier 1 sub. Somebody mentioned it should be odd. Is that a thing you can do? No. But this is more correct because I learned that the bottom right square should always be white. Look at this. Nth child 2 in plus 1. No, didn't work. Even? Even. Nope. Nth child 2? That works. But we need all of them. And thank you, Corso. Did we get a shout out for Lisa Ray? I might have missed it. Thank you for that raid. Odd. I mean, I have a. It's just gonna flip it in the opposite way. Yeah. But yeah, thank you again for that raid. Nice Python Twitch bot. Okay. Won't work because the 8th and 9th cell are the same color. Let's look at a chessboard. Yeah. See, look at that. Look at that. So. It goes, yeah, it's going to be something like this, and this is ridiculous. I appreciate you typing it. Actually, like, I'll put it in because it's probably going to work. And somebody else might have suggested that, but it's too complex. We can do it in JavaScript a lot easier, I think. this. So the square. Oh, actually, I need to replace your selector. Did somebody give me a better selector? This. This is gonna do it, but we can do it much simpler. And I don't want to do it with that ridiculous. Oh, well, that's a, a chessboard go burr. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, well, we could do like something bitwise, or we could, we could basically set the color of the square in the when we're creating an instance of it. So here we're creating a square, and we could figure out what the color is. So like thing, then black, otherwise white. We got to figure out what thing is, and then we pass in the color, and that will set the background. So how do we know if it's a black square? Someone mentioned we could do bitwise. Yeah, bottom right must always be white. So if it is an even row, the first child is white. Yeah, so if index is even row with even column. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's even easier. Yeah. So if rank mod 2 is equal to 0, and rank mod 2, file mod 2 is equal to 0, then it's going to be a white square. So I have that reversed. Great. So hopefully this works. We pass in the color to the square, and then now in the square we'll explicitly set it in here. Actually, I like this better. We'll have is odd, and we'll pass in is odd, and then we'll add a little class to it. So we have rank file and is odd, and we'll say if is odd, this dot element dot class list dot add odd. Great. And then we can say this monstrosity just becomes every odd square has a color or a background of black. This is it. Ta-da! It didn't work. Did I save all my files? Is odd. Passing that in there. Passing in is odd. let's just log it. File is a. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, because it's a letter. So we actually need to do file num is equal to that, and then we'll reuse it. I forgot that we're converting a file into a letter up here because we have these files. Yeah. All right. This is the winner. Is everyone ready? Drum roll. Okay. No. Almost. Rank mod 2 equals file num mod 2. Is this what we want? Is this what we want? It is. Who suggested that? I appreciate you. Always. Again, look at this. I bet you've built a chessboard before, or you know what you're doing. I'll comment on this really quick, Trams, because what I'm doing is I'm actually passing in an object. So the order of the arguments doesn't matter, because yeah, that can get really tricky if you pass the arguments in the wrong order. But I'm passing in an object, so that way I can destructure the object, and that way you can pass them in any order as long as they're in an object. Yeah. But we did it! We've done it! We invented a new game. Bottom right is black. Oh no! We knot it. Ta-da! And we fixed it. I just gotta knot it. Awesome. We've made a chessboard. We made it way more complicated than it should have been, but would you look at that? Yeah, perfect. And for those of you just joining us, it's responsive. Look at this. The most responsive chessboard on the planet Earth. Here it is. Wow. And if we zoom in, what happens? No, it just makes the border bigger. I think that's it. Now I'll label it. Actually, I'm not opposed to that. Let's literally put the rank and file inside of the square. So we'll just say this dot element is blod is yeah. I like that. That's a good point, Fantasy Teapot. Instead of is odd, we'll say is black. And then we'll change the class name to black. And then when we create the thing, we'll not that. Is black right there, is black. Same functionality, but the code's a little bit better. I just showed it to the stakeholders and they asked, can you make it pop more? I mean, technically, actually, can I add a transform to the parent element so it makes it look 3D? That actually would be fun to just check really quick. But regardless, I'm pretty much out of time. And so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the rank and file on the element itself. So yes, this dot element dot text content equals just the rank in the file. There we go. But let's style it. So let's say the square, the font size is like 3 VMin, and the font family of everything is just sans serif. Let's do that here. Great. And then on the black square, the color should actually be white. Ah, would you look at that? And then we also could just center it. So we'll just say display flex, justify content center, align item center. We get a nice little centered label. Oh, you're right. You're right. It's reversed. Rank. It's file rank. Like that. There we go. All right, yeah, and let's try something like this. So the last thing before I go is we're going to use CSS to make it pop. Are you ready, everyone, to make it pop? On the board element, I believe we could do something like this. Transform, rotate Y 30 degrees. And this should like tilt it a little bit. Not quite. It's shrunk it a little bit. What if we put it on the body? Does anyone know? What's a better thing that I can add? Ship it. What's up, Alves? Thanks for being here. Translate, transform. Okay. Where was I? Here. Translate. That did nothing. Rotate Z. Rotate the Z axis. That also did nothing. Rotate the X axis. Just rotate 30 degrees. Is this even happening? Let's put it on the parent element. Translate transform. Transform, rotate 30 degrees. Whoa! Okay. And so now if we rotate Z 30 degrees, no, not quite. That's it. No, I don't, that doesn't make it pop. That just makes people have to go like this. How do I make it go back? How do I make it do this? Like it's here and I want it to be like that. Rotate Y. It's skewed. Yeah, but what if we go like 100? No. X? X-axis? All right. This is the one. Thank you, AI Tech Singularity. We're gonna make it pop, everyone. Hey, not quite. Is that what I think that's the one I just tried. Perspective 1000. I don't know about, I've never seen the perspective property before. Transform, rotate Z, and then origin bottom. I really have to go. I have a work meeting. Transform, origin, bottom. Not quite. Transform skew. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Let's do a skew. Hey! We made it pop. I mean, not quite. What if I go 0, 15? If we skew it none, it's like that. How does skew work? That's it. Skew Y. 30 degrees. 20 degrees. Yeah, let's try it with, because I've never used perspective before, but we'll try it with a pixel unit. 100 pixels. 1000 pixels. It's not quite working. Rotate 3D. Yeah, we tried 30 degrees before. We could try 90. It's gone. It's off the page. I need transform with, oh, okay. I need transform with perspective. All right. This is the one. And then I really, really have to go. Not on the body, on the, oh, okay. Let me try that. Okay. I'm going to try this one. If that doesn't work, we're going to try the other one. And then we'll come, if it doesn't work, we'll come back to it. This was fun regardless. I mean, I haven't been looking at the view. There are 500 people watching and we can't figure this out. Okay. What did Brooklyn say? On the board. No, now it's gone. All right, last try. Don't use degrees with the transform perspective? Is that a thing? Perspective is a transform. Oh, okay, okay. So what I actually copied and pasted earlier should actually be part of the transform. I see. Like this. Scale 3. Okay, I should just look it up, right? Other people are, yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. The client wanted to make it pop. And you know what, client? By asking us to make it pop, you've wasted 30 minutes of our time and we're still going to charge you for it. But this is it. This is our board. Let's see. One more try from Never Lucky. Here we go. Hey, not quite. All right, one more from Jahidas. How to pop my CSS. I mean, that's closer to what we want, because But we want it. I don't know. Yeah, the client just lost a 5 million second round of investments. The project didn't pop enough. All right, no. I think we're gonna end it here, because we did it. We built a chessboard. All the things are labeled. We've got the bottom right corner is white, which is the way it should be. I'm gonna put it on GitHub. Yes. But I have to go. Thank you all for hanging out. We're gonna raid somebody, so stick around for the raid. This was fun. It was kind of ridiculous in how simple the code we wrote was, but at the same time, we learned. If you learned something today, just throw a smile in the chat. Just throw a smile. We did some interesting things. We had some script type module. We created an instance of elements. Got some nice OOP going on. It's pretty fun. Oh yeah, vmin. That was a cool find. Whenever we set the size of the board to be vmin, and I mean, if people are just joining us right now, you may not realize this, but look at this. Look at this. And by setting the font size to vmin as well, it responds with the size of the page as well. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna push the code to GitHub. Check Discord for the link, and if any of you figure out the CSS we can add to make it pop, feel free to make a pull request. But yeah, these are the raid messages. If you're a sub, this is your raid message. If you're not a sub, that other one was your raid message. Wherever we go, show them lots of love. Drop a follow if you like what they're doing. All that good stuff. Next stream is planned for Monday. Monday. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong thing. But maybe there will be a weekend stream, probably like a chess stream, actually like playing chess or making music this weekend. But if you follow on Discord, you can get notified when I go live. Follow on Twitter, follow here on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the supports. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this. For real this time.
Wow. Wow. There's it's like short burst farts. It's like holy smokes! you guys came in right at the perfect time because we just finished going through all the fart sounds and Rogue Soul and the Dexception and Mark and Shevsta and Karen and Andrew Lane and Fset and Fiatrand and Melinda Beans, Okina now and Rate and Kevin and CJ, how are you doing? How's it going? Thank you so much for the supports. Holy smokes. Wow. Wow. Holy crap, 14 months? 14 months, wow! And Alry Faye, and Turtle Monkey, and Itaki. Wow, this is an incredible raid. Thank you so much. We've been overrun. And Durgas, and